Good day everyone, and welcome to another part of the Exodus 7 to Chapter 12 project. At the moment I am still busy with Aaron, but I'm going to be showing you how far I am already, and then I'm going to be showing you Aaron and the serpent and so on. Let's kick it off with the progress images I showed you guys for Moses last time. This was the make human one, worked on the face, the beard, working on the clothing, sandals, and of course finishing off the clothing. A little bit of a pose there. So this is what Moses looked like, almost finished, not quite finished. This was just me adding some color to his outfit, and initially I wasn't quite sure what colors I would use because I wasn't 100% clear on the type of colors that they would have access to. In those days you had to use very specific ingredients to get specific colors, and some colors like purple, for example, was extraordinarily expensive. In this case I used a very soft kind of blue and a soft red, and of course an off-white. As you can see, his beard is a lot wider than the outfit he has on. So next frame is a close-up of his hair. I used the hair method I linked to in the description of the previous vlog, which you can also find in the description. It's a very, very flexible method. I'm amazed. I'm really, really amazed at how well it works. So I can with confidence recommend you using that. I did not use it for the mustache, and I did not use it for the beard, which I already told you guys in the last video. So this is in with a turban mukle thing. I still don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but whatever. And of course, this is also a nice, more final render. As you can see, the outlines are a little bit on the thin side. See, now with the hat, you can see how thin the lines truly are. And there I thickened the lines out. So this would be the standard line thickness that I would be using. It's just 1. And this is Moses finished. Ironically, when I prepared the character file for Moses, which is where I save the character for import into whatever scene he has to appear in, his hair worked 100% in that file. But it was not technically parented to the rig, so when I would import him, his hair would not budge. I didn't check if his hair would move as his head would move, but yeah, his hair would remain exactly where it was if you moved him. So, I'm so thankful God showed me that when you have a situation like that, you parent the hair to the rig without any specific deformation. So you would use armature deform, but you wouldn't use armature deform with automatic weights or envelopes or empty groups. You would just use armature deform as your parent. Okay, so that is Moses. I want to show you how well the hair rigs to his head. So what you see here is the character file that I told you guys about, where I prepare everything so that I can just import the whole scene. Almost smacked my PC off the table. A little bit demonstrative over here. Okay, so if you move the head like that, you can see there it goes with it. I added some control on the shoulders, not a lot, just so that his hair moves a little bit. It does go into the mesh. I struggle to paint the right amount still. I'm quite a bit of a noob in that sense. Rigging is not my strong suit, but I am very satisfied with this. I mean, look at that. There specifically, I did not white paint the color over here, color area. Now let me quickly show you Aaron, and this is Aaron. Looks awesome. But before I show you him rendered, I want to show you how he progressed. Now I only have a few frames for Aaron because I didn't focus on very specific features or whatever the case might be. I just wanted him to look similar to Moses, and I wanted him to look like he could be his brother. Because he was his brother, it's very difficult to make sure that people look alike enough without making them look exactly the same. This is the direct import after Make Human. This is him receiving the skin tone and some basic materials, of course the eyes as well. Quite a bit of a shocked experience over there because I just finished working on the mouth in this image. This was after doing the hair. This was before I parented the hair properly and rigged it. You can see he still has the Make Human clothes, and at the top there to the left you can see one of the curved spikes for the hair. On the inside of the hair, here at the front where is bangs. I think you can call them bangs. Anyway, so that area over there is a plane, and it goes all the way around the head. Not all the way around the head, but around the face, the border of the face, and goes in behind the ear and a little bit into the hair so that there's no skin showing through the hair. I wanted his hair to look at least thick enough so that you can't see his scalp. In this image you can still see some scalp if you look through the gap, but what I did was I made his scalp white where the hair is, which was a problem with the rigging initially because the hair would move away and you would see the white on the scalp. Looked terrible. This is after adding some sheen to his hair and his beard. What I want to show you is a problem with the hair. Because the hair is not unwrapped, which I think I should do in the future, the lines that you see right now on the hair look right, and it's great for a single frame. But when you animate it, it looks weird. So let me show you what it looks like animated. Pay attention to the sheen on the hair. It looks almost like those programs that you would use to draw in between frames. It doesn't quite look right. So this is what it looks like. Now the reason it looks like that is because I use reflection coordinates. Reflection coordinates, like the hairband, move with every instance of the shape's movement. So if your object rotates, your texture will look like it's rotating. Think of the reflection in a mirror. If you turn the mirror, the reflection will move in the opposite direction. So the texture, while it bends very nicely to the curves of the hair and it looks great and warps nice and all that kind of stuff, it looks weird when you play it. Now this is one without the texture warping, which I personally think is not bad, but I would have preferred to have the proper warping like on the beard. But in order to do that, I would have to unwrap the hair. I'm probably going to have to do that through the curves. I feel like I'm being shown that, so that will be probably an experiment for not Farrah. Farrah is usually bold. But some of the other characters. So let me show you what his hair looks like when it moves without that reflection coordinate warping. You can see that it's much more static in its movement, but it's not incorrect. I just would have preferred it to look more like the beard. But overall, I'm happy with this. I'm satisfied with that. Okay, so that is Aaron so far. As you can see, his clothes are still relatively untouched. All I did was just make it all a nice blue color. Still need to patch it in the front and adjust the jacket and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to give him the same outfit that Moses has. I feel led to give him some sort of a scarf type deal. I don't know exactly. I'd have to go look at my references again. But I do believe there is a reference that I do have for a scarf type thing. It's not a typical scarf. It's one that would run all the way down his clothing. It would just go around the shoulders over there. It would just be like a loose fabric piece that you can wrap around your head if there's some sort of a sandstorm or whatever the case might be. So that's cool. Next, I'm going to be showing you the serpent. Oh yeah. awesomeness. No, I'm totally kidding. This is the animal I felt that would be most accurate for the description in the Bible itself. The reason I chose not to go with a typical snake is because the Bible talks about a serpent. Now, the word for serpent, according to the dictionaries on StudyLight.org, refers to snake, but not primarily. Primarily, it refers to some sort of reptilian animal. The dictionary uses the word dragon or dinosaur, which I totally agree with. It could be either one of those. Not all of them were destroyed right after the flood, or even in the flood. So it's very possible that it could have been something like this. A different animal than what the magicians would use. And the magicians would most likely use a cobra, if it is indeed the case that they would worship the cobra. So what I want to show you guys is what it looks like when it's in its defensive stance. Like that. Oh, attack stance, not defensive, it's an attack. The frill was done with shape keys, and I did a lot of research into lizards and stuff like that to get the modeling to look right. I'm still not 100% satisfied with the feet, but at the moment, unfortunately, I believe that's the best it's going to be. So I'm sticking with the feet as is. This is the project file for the transformation. In the Bible, it says that Moses had Aaron throw his rod down on the ground before Pharaoh, and it became the serpent. That pretty much gives us carte blanche to do whatever we want to with the transformation. For this transformation to really work effectively, the stick cannot remain on the ground. Having it lift up is what I really felt would look cool. It may still change, or whatever the case might be, but I want to show you guys what it looks like in OpenGL. So I'm just going to turn the rig off so that it's not visible. Duh. And I'm also going to turn off this torus. The torus is the control object for the animation. That looks good. So let's say render only. So it's nice and clear. And then I'm going to scroll it through so you guys can see what it looks like in OpenGL. So the rod lifts up, rotates, and transforms. Boo. And this was all done with shape keys, by the way. Now, of course, I would add a lot more animation to make the landing look more cool, make the legs actually look like they're coming down and landing, and the tail move and all that kind of fun stuff. But I wanted to show you guys what it looks like when he transforms. I'm sure your question is, what does this look like with a final render? And this is what it looks like finished. This is without any additional animation to the tail. This is purely one model morphing into another one. I'll put a link in the description for the tutorial I used to base this on. I might do a tutorial on this. I don't know. If God leads me to do it, I'd be happy to. But I can quickly show you guys in this video how it works. So in a nutshell, how it works is you have two shapes. So let's add a shape here. Let's make it something interesting. Let's make it a pipe elbow. Okay. And let's say we want Suzanne to turn into the pipe elbow. So you would take Suzanne and you would go for the shrink wrap. You would select your target shape, and then you would see Suzanne be flat with it. So what you can do is you can pull Suzanne more into the shape, like that. Say we put her over there, okay? And you can apply this as a shape key. And instantly she's going to pop back. Now you can go into your shape keys and you can see she turns into the pipe shape. Now what I also did was, because the stick had to also morph into the serpent critter, I had to have the stick transform into the serpent at the same time. So I'm going to show you that it's just as simple as what we just did with Suzanne. You take your shrink wrap again on the pipe joint, select your Suzanne, and you can see you're going to have to do some editing because of the simplicity of the shape, which is not a problem. You can just apply that as a shape key. Make that shape key 100%. And now you can, I think we can just put all of it into the head. So let's do a quick animation of this. Insert keyframe, make it up to 60 frames. Doesn't have to be 60 frames, I'm just using 60 frames. That will be the first one. Insert keyframe, and of course the ending. So now if you play that back, so yeah, that's pretty much it for this week's progress. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and that you continue following the project. Have a great one and God bless.